for a lot of people that either use their lower extremities a lot with running, long distance runners, athletes, etc., or with folks that are a little less mobile, so they don't use their lower half nearly as much as they once did. One thing you can get is something called Achilles Tendonitis. Achilles tendonitis is everybody or a lot of people know where the Achilles tendon is. It starts at the back of the heel here, goes up to your calf. Okay, this is a very important area for motion and movement in the lower leg, obviously, and just dorsiflexing and plantar flexing, especially pushing your foot down this way. There's a lot of tension that goes on in the posterior leg there. And so one thing, if you are experiencing Achilles tendonitis, and it could be pain, most of the time you're going to see pain more in this lower area of the Achilles, but sometimes it can be that entire Achilles, or you can just feel extreme tightness or tenderness through that whole area, or if you pull it or you put pressure on it, it's really, really sore. So if you're experiencing Achilles tendonitis, there's one major thing that I personally tell everyone to do, and most of the time it works, almost always, is to become very diligent with stretching your calf muscles. You have two calf muscles. You have your soleus, which is your lower calf muscle, which is here. Then you have your gastroc, which is up here. So I tell folks to stretch both of those. And basically the main way that you differentiate your stretches between a gastroc, which is the upper, or your soleus, which is the lower, is to bend your knee. And so you can put pressure here, like standing on a step. You put pressure here, which is going to push your foot up this way, which is going to cause your foot to kind of go in this direction, which is going to elongate this area here. And so as you elongate that Achilles tendon, what's great is you can stretch, if you're standing on a stair or something like that, if it's not too aggressive, or even a 2x4 or something like that, it's going to lift that foot up. It's going to stretch that tissue here. Then what you do is you do a straight-legged stretch for, let's say, a minute, and then you could actually bend your knee, and you can, once you bend that knee, it will actually remove a lot of the stretch out of the gastroc, and it's going to stretch a lot of the soleus, which is going to be that lower calf muscle, and that's really going to dig into that Achilles tendon, which is awesome, because then you're going to start to elongate that tendon. The key is with any stretch is to hold it 45 seconds to a minute every time you do it. I would say do it 2 to 3 times per session, and then try to do it if it's really bad, try to do it 2 to 3 times a day. And so if you're getting in there and you're elongating that tissue over and over and over again, what you're going to do is start to reduce some of that tensile, that pulling on that heel, on the calf, and just that inflammation that's happening all through that, the posterior aspect of that foot and ankle, which is going to, like I said, reduce that inflammation on that tendon, which is going to reduce the pain of the Achilles. And so again, stretching that posterior leg, both straight-legged and bent-legged. Bent-legged even probably more important for that Achilles, just by pushing that toe up with a 2x4 or on the edge of a stair or something like that, can be immensely helpful, can reduce injury, can reduce so much pain, and it's such an easy thing to do. So give that a try.